What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the channel. We got another Dynasty film review session from our Michigan Dynasty in the Around the 32 league. Again, shouts out to everybody in the league. This week we got Indiana. This user here is he's highly talkative in the chat. He had a huge win a couple weeks ago against Texas Tech. Texas Tech is one of the better users in our league. So yeah, he's feeling himself a little bit. You know, ever since taking a beat down from Notre Dame, I've been on a mission to make a statement defensively, and really getting more comfortable with this Flexbone offense. And you're gonna see that in this game. You talk about ass whooping. That's what this game is. I am not playing no games. We are here. Let's get into it. We're running our Flexbone Air Force playbook. And you know, we want to come out and see if, you know, can you stop? How are you going to line up in against some of these formations that we got? Can you stop our option game? Can you stop the run? This is not a down and distance we want to be in. We do not want to be in second and longs. We do not want to be in third and longs. All right, so second and long, we'll come out and throw the ball. He runs a stunt on the D line, which gives us a little bit more time there. I don't run a true Flexbone offense. I run a flex coast offense. Come out there, first down. Again, can you stop the run? I have been labbing with this offense, so I am highly comfortable in what I'm doing. And another thing I really like about this offense is, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I run, you know, when I run the spread, I run something what's called the Debo spread. So we're putting our playmaker in the backfield and allowing them to get into space and make plays. With the Flexbone, we can take principles from the wing bone and have a wing back, you know, a receiver in the backfield, which is what we did there. Came out, we scored quick. We were very decisive. We knew exactly where we were going with the ball. Now, while yes, we do want to make a statement, you know, from an offensive standpoint, but where we really want to make a statement is this defense. Again, a couple weeks ago, we got 63 put on us. 63. We want to make sure that don't happen again. All right, so it comes out in this spread look. Throwing the ball. We get pressure. We just don't think that your offensive players are better than our defensive players. You're going to have to show us. The man takes a deep shot here. Looked like he had a step. He comes out in this five wide look. So hey, our mindset is we're not gonna give you no time to throw this ball. You're gonna come out here and empty. We're gonna send more than you can block. You're gonna have to show us. And there it is, right on cue. Ever since we got smacked by Notre Dame, we have been putting in work to make sure that defensively we do not get embarrassed like that again. So back on offense here, we see. So let's pause that real quick and we're going to go back. On the first drive, I saw who he was using. I saw how he was trying to play some of these things. And like I said, I have been working. I know exactly what my checks is going to be if you show certain looks. My man is using the linebacker. He is in a too high look. To me, tells me that he is in cover 2. He could be in 4. He could be disguising it, trying to read the defense post snap. And based on whatever my keys are, in this case, it was the Mike or the middle linebacker, because of, you know, what he had done on the prior drive. And because of that, we're just going to hit you right in the seam. Easy touchdown. All right, so on that first drive, my opponent, he came out in a lot of spread looks. This is the first time he's came out in this, you know, kind of deuce or tight look to where he has multiple tight ends on the field. And yes, we are up 14 right now, but I mean, that doesn't really mean nothing. Again, we want to make sure we are applying pressure, making sure our defense is putting him in uncomfortable situations, especially that quarterback. Make him make bad decisions. All right, we got second and medium. His quarterback is already cold. It don't help that, you know, we got home field advantage. And look at that right there, right on cue, baby. Like I said, man, we've been putting in that work. You're gonna have to show us. All right, back on defense. We just got a defensive score. We up 21-0. I believe we're just 2 minutes into this game. We already up 21. And you see, he's just trying to get into rhythm. That was a good play, running the bubble read there. He hit his wide open guy. He got himself a nice little game. We take a note of that. We see that. It ain't gonna be like that all game, so don't get too comfortable. On defense, we read and we react. We read and we react. What are you coming out in? How are we going to adjust to that? And right there, my switch stick was not. I'm not sure if I accidentally did something. So yeah, again, he's just trying to get into a rhythm. Down 21. He just wants to get something on the board, get into some type of groove. Our goal on defense, we don't want to allow him to do that. He comes out in this trips, look. All right, we got a little shift there by the running back. We're expecting run. We're ready for it. But this is the down and distance we want him in. Second and long. He takes a deep shot here, and his guy made a play. He did this a lot this game. All right, he's in the red zone. Can he get some points on the board? He's going to come out in his bunch look. And again, we are reading and reacting. We're not going to allow, nothing short. We know you're going to try to run the ball at some point. He has a good gain here. All right, on the 2-yard line, we are expecting run. And that's exactly what he did. Bend but don't break. He comes out here in this 3 tight end look. A lot of people like to run duo out of this, mesh. We are ready for the underneath stuff as well as the run. I don't know how I missed the tackle. All right, so 4th and 1. We make a stop here. We get the ball back in our offensive hand, and this is a huge stop if we get it. I am expecting him to try to run this ball. I'm going to try to shoot the gap and make a play. Like, let's attack, man. Like, what we doing? Come on. We had the tackle. He's right there. Again, we just want to keep imposing our will. I do not think that he can stop us. We haven't really gotten into our bag yet. He is trying to stop this run, but he's playing very conservative in his zones. See him, he's got the box loaded. He's expecting run. All right, 2nd and long. Again, this is not what we want to be in this type of offense. But at the same time, we're really not that worried. And you'll see on this play, this is why I love this type of offense. At the end of the day, real football wins. You come out in this 1 high, I'm going to run some type of pass concept that exploits that. But you see the concept here. We got curl flat on the left side. We got post out on the right. Again, this exploits 1 high. My eyes are on that safety down to the backer. Let's see what they do. He moves the backer down in the box, probably expecting to run. And see, this is, again, the power of the flex bone. You have to respect the run or you're going to get gashed. Incorporating the West Coast style into this offense really, really makes it hard to stop because you have no idea what I'm doing. You think I'm running the ball, but no, dog. We throwing the rock. And it looks like he was in an inverted 2. His safety bailed out. Just leaving the middle of the field wide open. A walk-in touchdown. All right, comes out in the trips look. He really likes his trips look. He does this a lot this game. And just, it's a nice throw. And we don't want gains like that, but we're okay with that because we know, like, you ain't gonna be doing that all game, my boy. All right, so he shifts into this tight look. As you shift, we gonna react, read and react. And right here, again, he likes to do this shift, and we gonna again read and react. You want to shift? We cool with that. We got something for that. Looking to throw, it's Hoover. This is a nice play. Run inside. It's BB. And here's what you know, Henry were a big part of that thing too. I think the offense. He's just gonna try to run that rock. He hasn't shown anything passing the ball where it's been a threat. He's taking some deep shots, but a lot of times when he's taking those deep shots, it's been us. All right, and we just gonna come out here again. We are playing aggressive, man. We know you're gonna try to throw this ball. We playing aggressive. We know our defensive players are better than your offensive players. We're going to make a play. All right, back on defense. I mean, being down 28 points, in my head, I just know that all he wants to do is throw the ball. And again, your defensive players ain't better than mine. I'm sorry, your offensive players ain't better than my defensive players. But now I'm taking note, though. I'm taking note. Okay, you keep trying to take these deep shots. We're not going to keep allowing that. So now I'm going to start doubling those outside receivers. So just in case he does try to take that deep shot, we got something for him, and we in position to make that play. All right, so again, we know you're going to try to throw the ball. We are going to apply pressure and see if you can get that ball off. We had this guy. This guy just didn't make a play. He's got to have those plays, especially being down 28. But again, we know it's a passing situation. We are coming to get that QB. You're going to have to show us. And right here, he goes deep. And we just in perfect position, man. Like I said, man, you're going to have to show me.
Sends it back in motion. Looking for a crease. It's Marshall. Got enough for the first. Good pick up there.
Again, he don't know what's coming, so he's not ready to react in time. He thought that something was coming to the outside. Boom, right up the middle. He can't make a decision in time. We wiggle past him. Nice gain on first down. That right there is the triple. Like, that's the power of this Flexbone. You don't know where the ball is going. You cannot react fast enough. Your guys get out of position. They get out leveraged. I tried to motion my wing out, but I couldn't. I honestly probably should have called a timeout right here. All right, second and long. We got to have something here. We ain't got to get it all, but we got to have something.
The inside handoff. Maybe a crease.
All right, we come out in a Deuce Twins look. And our guy's just wide open. I don't know what he's thinking or where he's thinking that guy's going to go. He probably thought he was going to run some type of out, deep out. But I had him on the corner. Underwood puts that thing on the money. All right, his offense is back out here. We got a minute and a half before halftime. And he is one-dimensional at this point. We know he has to throw the ball in order to get back in this game. If you're going to come, and again, you're going to come out empty, boy, you're going to have to show us. You're going to have to show us that you can make the right decision. We want to make him uncomfortable. All right, goes back to this trips look.
Back to pass on second down. Under fire.
And like, let's just go back and take a look at that. I was not able to get on the, the player that I normally use her, so I was on the corner. I read the little out, and he ran in, which is actually, if he would have ran something up the field, it would have been better for him. But I was able to attach myself back to whoever's making that in cutting route, which is probably where he wanted to go with the ball. He held it too long. We got the pressure on him. Another turnover. Yeah, it's getting real ugly.
This offense is about to face the one thing that can stop it. Time expiring in the first half. Before then, they can get another score.
Just like that, baby. Walk-in touchdown. Oh, telling you, this Flexbone offense, the more that I use it, the harder it's going to be for anybody to stop it. A minute before the half, we up 49-7. I know my opponent right now is just shocked. He is not expecting this to go this way. But like I said, we out here trying to make a statement.
They'll run the RPO and throw it right. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down.
So, in my eyes, it ain't no mercy. Like I say, you just gonna have to show us, man. His offensive line has not done a good job holding up against the D-line. And right here, I'm baiting him. He thought that, we're about to do something with the, he thought he was gonna have something right there with his little out on the slot. Not up. Right, he comes out in his bunch tight end look. I'm thinking he's gonna run the ball, and he does. I was not too happy that damn. All right, he's coming out in this bunch look again. What we just call twins near, because that running back is nearest to that bunch look. He's going to motion this man across. And we just read and react. I kind of got caught on his guy there. I'm surprised it wasn't a defensive pass interference or holding or something like that. That was a nice play by him. He hit his guy right over the middle.
want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying,
he just has nowhere to go with the ball. Everything is locked up. All right, 2nd and long. He's moving towards the end zone. He just got to make good decisions. All right, 3rd and 3, 30 seconds left. I'm still not trying to give up no score right here.
They'll try to pick up the first through the air.
All right,
He dropped it. He had the pick in his hand.
again, we're trying to bait him into doing certain things. We should have had a pick right there. Honestly, probably should have just stayed out the way. I think I got in the way. I messed that up. All right, 4th and 3.
Stay aggressive and leave the offense out there on 4th down again.
I'm gonna shift back into this trips near look.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first
And then we're
down.
not giving them nothing, man. We're playing aggressive. We're gonna make sure that you are uncomfortable.
No dice, turnover on downs.
All right, 25 seconds before the half.
Just to play in the half. We'll see how
49-7.
they are on this drive. Here comes the option. The keeper on the
And
option. There's a crease.
again, this is why I love this offense.
At the 30. Inside the 10.
You don't know where the ball is going. And even when you think you're right, you are wrong. You have to be in position to make that tackle. We make one man miss, we is out the gate. No, 56-7 before the half. All right, 14 seconds before the half.
Aggressive will the play calling be.
We're just doing our thing.
Looking to
Comes
pass
down
this
empty.
over.
We're expecting something
To take a shot.
just like that.
The pass
And again, his guys can just they just don't make the play when he needs it. He's had a couple deep shots where his guys, they're in position. They just got to make those plays.
Make your quarterback look good and make a big play for this offense.
Bring in the heat.
And we are getting bodies on that quarterback. We want to make sure that that wear and tear
We go to the break.
amplifies as we get
Toward halftime.
deeper into this game. We are physical. We want to be aggressive.
Just enough time
When
to
we get
off the
open shots on the QB, we will take them. If we get a flag, so be it. But your quarterback is going to feel it.
He uncorks one deep. He can.
All right, starting the second half. We are up 56-7. Yes, 56-7. And again, he comes out in this trips near look, motions to tight look, tries to run the ball. Hey, we got to fit that gap. We got to make a play there. All right, comes out in the spread look, and he's running the ball. He's running the ball, which, hey, we want to do that. That's fine with me. But this is why we do this. We want to review our film so we can become better players. Know what you are doing that is setting you up for failure so you can set yourself up for success the next time.
Well, after allowing a touchdown on the last drive, this offense has to
He's getting into tempo now. Again, he is down big, so he's trying to get something going.
is a good step toward doing
And we're trying to do certain adjustments on defense, and we're just not doing them in time. I thought he was running the ball there.
this thing off, but that was a big one.
Our guy almost had a sack. I don't know how he didn't get that sack. But hey, again, we are making that quarterback uncomfortable. You're going to have to show us that you can make good decisions on the fly.
They're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy.
Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
Man, huge sack on first down there. Again, we are applying pressure. We are making sure we're getting bodies on the quarterback. We want to make sure that he feels it at the end of the game. And again, there he goes with the little deep shot, 50-50 ball. It's just a bad matchup. Our guy's pretty short. His guy's super tall. Just a good read.
In the second half, you just need one big play, though, to spark the
But hey, you gonna come out here in this empty. Again, you gonna have to show us you can make good decisions on the fly. I'm telling you, I'm not playing no more games. We are trying to show that we are like that. And you see. So at this point, he is in the chat and he's asking like, man, like, is it good if I concede? And I just straight up told him like, dog, that's on you. If you want to concede, go ahead. If you want to play on, we can do that. But I'm not letting up. So my opponent, he did decide that he wanted to keep playing. So we're going to keep going with this. We already up 63-7 in the third. Got a lot of ball game left. But again, we have no plans of letting up. We will continue to play our style of ball. We're expecting nothing but the pass, but we are prepped for the run.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Now adjusting.
And just, he really doesn't have anywhere to go with the ball. We have bodies on bodies. We are getting after the quarterback, and to be honest, he is uncomfortable. He's trying to get outside the pocket because he knows his pocket is going to collapse. So it comes out in this bunch look, what we're going to call trips in there. And I honestly have no idea what happened on that. I mean, that's something that does happen in real football. It's unfortunate. I know that my man's over here is just fuming. All right, back out here on offense. And like I said, man, we have no intentions of holding up. Again, we want to show that if you're gonna play this type of offense, you're gonna have to show us. You're gonna have to show us that you can stop it. It's a quick read, but again, you got to know the offense that you're running and be able to make those reads on the fly. And right there, my man shifted his D-line, which is, hey, thank you. We got 3rd and inches. I'm sure he is expecting something up the middle here. And, I mean, that's just what we're going to do. We'll keep it like that. So we got a 1st and 10. I'm just chewing clock at this point. And just right here, man, like, leverage is so key. Getting guys out of position, creating bad angles. All right, huge pickup there on the last play. Again, we just trying to run this rock, run this clock. Again, this offense is nothing but it's a numbers game. And once you start to make certain adjustments, let's run that back. Once you start to make certain adjustments on defense, we see that. We taking note of that. And like I said, I know how to run this option offense, so I'm not going to be making mistakes that I, made a couple games ago. I'll go back and watch my film. I'll go back and see what we need to do better. I assume that he put his coach adjustment on keying on the pitch. He's going to key on the pitch, which leaves the quarterback wide open, walk-in touchdown. This offense in particular is extremely hard to stop because there are so many options, no pun intended. All right, defense is back out there. We up 70-7. Yeah, we doing that.
Back to throw, it's Hoover. Going for the big play.
Like that. That was on me.
Back to pass.
As you see here, I am feeling myself. I am feeling myself on defense and really, practicing my switch sticking, making sure I understand the type of coverages that I'm running and where I need to be, where the weaknesses are. We are going to understand what you are trying to do offensively, and we're going to do our best to react to that.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Big tight end makes
4th down play, he picks that up. All right. So again, he's just trying to gain some confidence back.
Wants to throw it again.
And right there, like that play right there was a perfect example of understanding your coverage that you come out in and what the offense is trying to do based on what they've been doing the whole game. I'll go back and take a look at it. He's going to run this mesh concept, and I understand he's been doing that throughout the game. And like I said, I've been practicing my switch stick, so for me, I know where I have to go. I know where I need to be because I know where the weaknesses are. He tries to, hit that wheel route. Nah, dog, we got somebody right there. I don't know how many defensive touchdowns we've had in this game, but that is another one. All right, so he's switched his quarterback.
Consequences of losing this ball game.
Nice play right there.
Tight end now in motion. Wilson to pass. Finds his big tight end.
And we just didn't get set up. Couldn't get to it in time. And I really don't care to pause the game and do all of that. So we're just going to keep running with it.
On the ground, it's Martin.
And dog, previous games, I probably would have dove early there. But again, let's go back and watch our film so we can know what we need to do better in order to be successful the next time we play.
This linebacker unit really held down this rushing attack that they usually hang their hat on.
Still looking on the move.
And we're not going to give him no type of windows, man. We is putting pressure on the quarterback. I don't care if we up 100, if we up 70, whatever. We is trying to put pressure on that QB, make him uncomfortable, and not give him too much room to be successful.
From the gun, wants to
And look at him. He thinks the pressure is coming, so I'm trying to get it out quick. That's where we want him to be at. We want him to make quick decisions on the fly, because eventually you're not going to make the right decision, as we have seen this game. I don't know how he completed that pass right there, but his guy finally made a play. Nice catch.
This coaching staff is still trying to find things.
Here comes the duo. So, like I said, we've been putting in work too.
Understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line.
He's thrown 2 seam balls on this drive that probably should have been picked. And even though, again, I'm up 70, but I ain't got no mercy, man. I do not want you to score. I am trying to make a statement with this defense.
shoots it to the left.
And right there, and again, his guys are finally making plays,
I mean,
but it is a little bit too late, my buddy.
And that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some.
He ran this play earlier in the game. He had a fumble. We've had a lot of plays where that defensive end has come free. Just easy tackle for losses there. Again, in the red zone, we do not want to give up a score. He's going to go into this trips near. We're expecting anything over the middle, and that I was not really, I wasn't expecting that. So that was actually a pretty good play. All right, back on offense. This play right here is why this offense is so deadly. I have been running this jet motion this whole game, and he thinks that it's going outside, but this time we're going to pitch it to the fullback. All right, and we're just running clock here.
They'll send the back in motion. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side.
And how
Like this game right here, like this is probably one of the best games I've played in CFB 27. Defensively, just a masterclass. Offensively, we made great decisions. But again, all of this comes from going back and reviewing where you may have failed previous. What can I do better next time to ensure that we're not repeating the same mistakes?
really nice job that time. Getting hats over to the football, getting to the pitch man.
And right there, that's just the staple of this offense, man. I watch a lot of Paul Johnson triple option. And that's what we basically trying to replicate here. Some Josh Nesbitt, you know, Demaryius Thomas, that offense there. Got Jonathan Dwyer at fullback. Yeah, and that's going to do it for, what is this, week 8, week 7, week 8. We got one more user game for the rest of the season. Again, that's going to be Oregon. We got a couple computer games. I'm not going to, you know, do an in-depth review session on the computer games. I want to do the user games because that's just where the most competition comes into play. Trying to get more comfortable in the playbooks that I use. Again, on offense, I run Air Force playbook. On defense, I run the 4-3 quarters press. And at this point, it's just about recruiting the guys that can fit our scheme the best. As you see, we are the number 4 ranked overall, and we have pulled in some guys, man. We've got 3 5-stars, you know, really adding on to that defense. We got Oregon left on the schedule. It's going to be our last user game. It's going to be a big one. We win that, we are guaranteed a spot in that Big Ten championship. But outside of that, we're just trying to get into that playoff, make some noise. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate y'all. I hope y'all truly understand the power of going back and watching your film. It will truly make you a better player. See y'all in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We out.